the chairman of the Institute of Certified Secretaries. I have made one or two comments in terms of his experience and what he has done across different sectors when it comes to governance matters. You will hear much more from him in that regard, but I want to cite the counties because for a very long time he was part of the executive in Makueni County during that time of Professor Kibwana. And you all know what happened during that tenure of Professor Kivuza Kibwana, what Makueni County was looking at like when it came to performance. And I would like to believe it is because the Institute had lent one of its most powerful, let me use the analogy of soccer, one of its most powerful players to support and drive governance and strategy at the county level. And that shows you, for all of us who are asking the question, whether it actually matters, whether governance translates to performance. Nothing could present powerful evidence like the role that our chair played in the Makueni County and what that county was able to achieve in a very short period of time. Bona Chairman, we are very honored to have you grace this event, taking your time from a very busy schedule. I know there are so many other meetings that are calling and making demands on you. And I also know that the words that you will leave with these young budding professionals will have impact not just for today, but many years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together and welcome the chairman of the Institute of Certified Secretaries, FCS Joshua Wambua.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wayne Mutuma, for those very kind remarks. Let me appreciate the Dean, the Faculty of Law, who is ably represented here by Dr. Njaramba. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion and also for allowing us to have this meeting here, which is for the purpose of meeting and interacting with the students and equally with the public, because this event is in the public domain. Let me also appreciate Professor Githu Muigai, who has sent a representative. Karibu sana, and we really appreciate. I think at this point I must say that Professor Githu Muigai is a member of this institute, is a fellow of the institute, a very supportive person. And so we really appreciate him through you. Equally appreciate FCS Professor Dr. Nicholas Leting, the CEO of CASNEP, a very key institution when it comes to this profession because it's examining body. And so he'll be talking to us and also will be sharing his views on a number of issues regarding the question of the certified secretaries in this country. Dr. Wayne, who is the coordinator, the main coordinator of this event, we appreciate you. FCS Karanja, who is our CEO, thank you very much for being here. CS Joyce Koech, the registrar of companies, who has already been introduced. Thank you very much for coming. The BRS, the Business Registration Bureau, is very important when it comes to this profession. Let's remember that's the memory of the country as far as business records are concerned. We have got my fellow council members who are here, FCS Salome, and then we have got CS Kema, who is already seated here, and I don't think you were introduced. Can you be upstanding and wave? Yes. Thank you very much. all the members of the young association, which has already been introduced here, and the students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Yes, I know we are supposed to have started at, was it 9 o'clock? Yes, and it has taken us a while before we mobilized ourselves and arrived. Of course, this reminds me about what happened the other day. Is it yesterday or the day before yesterday? In the performance contracting signing ceremony, which was headed by none other than the head of state. And I think that defines, that statement from the head of state defines a new chapter in this country in terms of keeping time. But I don't want to go that way because it's a sensitive matter. We leave it at that, we leave it to lie. The owners will drive it to where it belongs. Just like you've been told, I serve as the chairman of the Institute of Certified Secretaries, and this event is for the purpose of interacting with you students so that you may be able to understand this profession, because there are many people who don't understand, who even don't know that it exists to begin with. And number two, those who know that it exists, they probably don't understand it well. And so by the time we leave this place, if we'll have done three things, we will have informed those who don't know about the profession that the profession exists. That is a tick. Number two, we'll have clarified to those who know about the profession but don't know it well. Tick number two. And tick number three, we'll have networked. And I think we'll have accomplished our mission if that is done. And I am sure it's going to be done. The ladies and gentlemen who are in this room will be able to deliver on that particular aspect. My first assignment, I think, is to introduce the Institute. The Institute of Certified Secretaries of Kenya is a professional membership association which is established through an Act of Parliament, Chapter 534 of the Laws of Kenya, and it was established in 1988. The Institute was operationalized in 1989. The purpose of the Institute, or the objects of the Institute, is to promote growth, development, and regulation of the governance and the corporate secretarial profession in Kenya. Our identity is corporate governance. Our assignment is to promote and grow corporate governance practices in this country, or improve on corporate governance, because it's a question of improving it. Being a member association, we are also involved in governing and regulating the affairs of our members to ensure that they adhere to the set principles in the practice of corporate governance profession. So we regulate our members, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is a key attribute that you need to appreciate. Just like there is the Law Society of Kenya, just like there is the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, and many other professional associations, we are known as the Institute of Certified Public Secretaries of Kenya. And so our association regulates that the practitioners in that particular area. I think I should mention that as an association, we are members of the Association of Professional Societies in East Africa, which is the umbrella body, the national umbrella body in this country, which brings together all the professional associations in this country. And of course, APSEA, we are very lucky today because one of our council members, who is the CEO of CASNEB, and again, you may show your hand, Dr. Leting, Professor Leting, is the chairman of APSEA. And so we have got a commonality in terms of growing professionalism in our country. Our mission, rather our vision, is to be the leaders in good governance for a sustainable society. The question of sustainability is a big issue, and that's what we are pursuing on the subject of good governance. And our mission is to develop and guide sustainability and governance standards in organizations. We formulate standards on given areas of operation, on given areas of professional performance, so that those standards will guide us into standardizing on how things are going to be done. Just for simplicity, one of them would be, for instance, the question of holding successful meetings. You may take it for granted, but there are professional standards which are already established on how to hold a successful board meeting. What are the prerequisites? There is a governance standard which is already established and formulated on that particular area. But that's just one of the examples that I wanted to draw from. Our mandate is to promote practice of good governance in both the private and the public sector. We have issued codes of conduct on governance aspects for every sector, for the private sector and for the state corporations. For the state corporations, we rely on the Mwongozo, and I think Mwongozo is really a public document. You can always find it and relate with it, and you see the contribution that we have made as an institute. We work with the Capital Markets Authority, particularly to formulate and enforce standards for those companies or corporations which are quoted in our securities exchange and which are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, and many more other codes which I may not be able to list right away. Now, we have a students' association body which is the link between the institute and the students. Because like I think like Dr. Wayne was saying, this is like a relay. The students supply the people who are going to qualify and become professionals. And then once they become professionals, they become the practitioners, they become the mentors, and therefore the cycle continues as would be. So that today you could be a mentee, but tomorrow you'll be a mentor. So we rely on those students as a source of our potential members for the future. We integrate with students on a number of activities which include webinars, conferences and dinners, and all this create an opportunity for students to network and interact with the practitioners. For example, in the month of August, we are holding our annual conference in Mombasa, which is one of our premier events, during which we discuss matters, national interest in terms of practice, in terms of governance. And we usually make sure that we support students to come and learn, and also to share with us what they expect as young Kenyans. Therefore, we are inviting each and every one of you to embark on this remarkable journey with us, interacting with the Institute, so that we can be able to increase our student registration with CASNEP, take the exams, pass the exams, and be certified as to have passed the exams, and then you can be invited to become a member of the Institute. And once you become a member of the Institute, then you make your contribution at national level. Just like you'll notice, and this will come out from the speakers who will come after me, everyone here is making a contribution. Dr. Wayne mentioned that I served in Makueni county government as a waziri. You know, we were very happy when we were being called waziris. We didn't want to be called ECMs because an ECM is not understood by Mwikali and Mutua on the ground. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that it was easy for us to be defined and put into perspective. I served in that government and I made my contribution. I am sure everyone else here in their respective positions in this country, you are also serving. And therefore, the objective is really to qualify and occupy a space, make a contribution to our nation building, and then we are able to move forward while maintaining our pathline, which is promotion of good corporate governance. I think with those remarks, we really want, again, as an institute, to appreciate you are finding time to come and interact with us on this very important subject matter. We are parented to the Ministry of National Treasury. That's our parent ministry. So that we make our contributions in terms of our mandate through that particular ministry. So without much ado, once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you for coming, and we look forward to a very good interaction in this forum. Let me also, before I close, say this. If, Dr. Wayne, you can be upstanding, this profession is not for lawyers only. It is not just for accountants only. It is not just for the CSS only. This gentleman standing here is also an architect. Are you aware? Please, if you are not aware, take note. Yes, please appreciate him. Thank you. I know that Professor here is also an accountant. Yes, we appreciate that. And many more others. And therefore, we invite you. It doesn't matter which field you are in. And we want to request you to be our ambassadors. Share with many other students regarding this profession. I'll finish with this short story. When I served as the CEO of the Institute from the year 2000 to 2013, I served for 13 years. I still remember that. One day, a young man came into the office without an appointment. I am not a person of appointments, but it's good also to have appointments, especially when you want to succeed in doing what you want to do. He came, and then my secretary came and told me there is someone who wanted to talk to me. And then somehow I had a few minutes in my hands, and I allowed him to come in. I thought I was going to spend about 15 minutes with him. But let me tell you, that young man who was 24 years old, we spent over 1 hour with him. We had a cup of tea because of the many things that he told me. At 24 years old, he had already finished his first degree. He has done his MBA, and he was already enrolled for a doctorate program. And on top of that, he had already done CPA. He was a CPAK, and he was also a CPSK at 24 years. You know, that created anxiety in myself to understand him more. And I asked him, how did you manage at 24 years to be at this level? And then he explained to me that he got to know about CASNEB when he was at Utumishi Academy, I think in Gilgil. Yeah, you visited, as an institution, you visited them. And when he finished his O-level exams, as he joined the university, he registered for CASNEB. And that's how he was able to run parallel his degree program and the professional learning. That's how he managed. And once you do one, the other one becomes very easy because you are given a lot of exemptions. What am I saying you? My parting shot is this. Those of you who are students, you have a lot of time in your hands. And now I can even speak as a parent. You have a lot of time in your hands. That time which you have, utilize it in a defined way, in a planned way, and you'll be able to succeed very well. As you do your degree program, of course, don't compromise on your degree program, but this other time, which you are not realizing you have a lot of time, I can tell you. Get to register yourself with ICS, and that's what I'm promoting. Register yourself as a certified secretary student, and by the time you are finishing your degree, you will have your professional qualifications on your shoulders. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.